Welcome to the biology online classes. So, in the previous classes, we were studying the chapter Morphology of Flowering Plants. We have already studied various topics like the leaf, stem, root, okay, in brief, and also we have studied about the flower in detail, isn't it? And also the inflorescence. Now we are going to study about the seed. Okay, so what are seeds actually? Seeds are formed from ovules, okay, or seeds are the matured ovules are known as what? Seeds. For example, in the mango tree you can see one seed only. That means what? When the mango was in the flower stage, okay, in the their ovary only one ovule is there. And if you see the tomato, you can see many seeds in them, isn't it? What does it mean? It means that in the flower of tomato, in the ovary there are many ovules, okay. And if you see, the seed is made up of seed coat and embryo, okay, generally. And the embryo is having radicle, okay, plumule, then cotyledons, etc. So let's study the structure of a dicotyledonous seed. Okay, so the outermost covering of the seed is known as what? The seed coat, and it has two layers. What are they? Testa and tegumen. Okay, so the seeds coat has two layers. What are they? Testa and tegumen. Okay, and there is a scar. There is a small what scar? Actually, it is representing the micropyle of the ovule. Okay, and this scar is known as hilum, okay, through which the developing seeds were attached to the fruits. Understood? To the fruit. Then above the hilum there is a small pore, okay, that is known as the micropyle, okay, micropyle. And through this only pollen tube enters, and just above that only there is a scar. What is hilum? Actually, it's a scar on the seed coat through which the developing seeds are attached to the fruit, okay. In the fruit, the seeds are attached to the fruit, okay, with the help of what? A small structure, and that is appearing as a scar, okay. And within the seed, if you see, it is having a embryo consisting of what? An embryonal axis and two cotyledons, okay. So you can see here the embryonal axis. This is the embryonal axis, and then what? Two cotyledons, okay. And then the cotyledons, what is the speciality of cotyledons? They are soft, okay, or they are fleshy, and they contains what? Full of reserved food materials, and that is the reason why we use it as what? That is the edible part, isn't it? We take various kinds of seeds like what? Cashew nut or groundnut, etc., due to what? The reserved food materials in them. Understood? So they actually store the food for what? For the developing embryo. Understood? And then I told there is one embryonal axis, okay. This is the embryonal axis, and in the embryonal axis, one end contains a structure known as plumule, and the other end contains the radicle, okay. So radicle is actually giving rise to the roots, and plumule will give rise to the shoot. Understood? So in some seeds, okay, very rare and dicot seeds only, they are having some endosperm, okay. Usually what happen in dicot seeds, the endosperm will be utilized, but in some seeds like what? The castor, you can see some amount of endosperm is left out. That kind of seeds where the endosperm is left out is known as endospermic seeds, okay. And in some other seeds, the endosperm is not left out. That kind of seeds are known as what? Non-endospermic seeds. So seeds can be endospermic or non-endospermic. Endospermic means what? If the seeds are retaining the endosperm. What is endosperm? Actually, it is formed by the double fertilization. We learned, in angiosperms, the characteristic feature is double fertilization. Okay, means 2 times fertilization happens, and the result of one of the fertilization is what? The endosperm. Okay, it is acting as the nutritive tissue. Is it clear? If the endosperm is left out, okay, then that type of seeds are known as endospermous seeds. And if it is not left out, okay, that is fully converted in the development of the embryo. What is the part of embryo? Plumule, radicle, cotyledons, etc. Understood? So if they are in the formation of them, if the endosperm is fully utilized, no endosperm will be left out. That kind of seeds are known as non-endospermous seeds, and most of the dicot seeds are non-endospermous seeds. And there are exceptions like castor. Okay, even though it is a dicot seed, it is having endosperm. Okay, so about the structure of dicot seed, you understood, no? Seed coat will be there. Okay, and inside that the embryo will be there. What are the parts of embryo? Embryonal axis and cotyledons. Embryonal axis consists of what? Plumule and radicle. Okay, plumule will give rise to the shoot system, and radicle will give rise to the root system. Is it very clear to everyone? Okay, so then next is the structure of monocotyledonous seeds. Okay, so monocotyledon seeds are endospermic. Okay, and there are also exceptions. Orchids, even though they are the monocot seeds, monocot and dicot, you remember, no? So what are monocot plants? Like coconut, isn't it? Rice, wheat, all these are bamboo, all these are what? Monocot plants. Okay, and other plants, what? Cashew, mango, all these are dicot plants. So in monocot seeds, endosperms are there, but there are exceptions also. Okay, for example, orchids, even though they are coming under monocots, they are non-endospermic. Okay, so in the seeds of cereals or maize, they are examples of monocot seeds. Okay, and the seed coat is membranous and is fused with the fruit wall. Okay, we cannot what distinguish the fruit wall and the what seed coat. Okay, and the endosperm is very bulky and it stores the food. And you can see the outer covering of the endosperm that separates, okay, the embryo by a proteinaceous layer, and that layer is known as alluren layer. Okay, so there will be an alluren layer. Can you see here? This is the alluren layer. Okay, what is the function of it? It separates the uh, embryo. Okay, the outer covering of endosperm that separates the embryo, that layer, okay, that proteinaceous layer that separates the endosperm. Okay, that separates the embryo. Okay, that layer is known as what? Alluren layer. Understood? And you can see it is one cotyledon. Only one cotyledon is there. That cotyledon is known as scutellum. Okay, what is it? Scutellum. Understood? Endosperm and the embryo that are separated by the alluren layer, and there is only one cotyledon that is known as the scutellum. Okay, and there will be a short axis with a means embryonal axis with a plumule and radicle. Okay, so the axis, embryonal axis consists of what? Plumule and radicle. Okay, plumule will give rise to what? The shoot system, and radicle will give rise to the root system. Understood? And the plumule is enclosed by a sheath which is known as the coleoptile, and the radicle is covered or it is protected by a sheath known as coleorhiza. So this is the structure of what? Monocot seed. Understood? So monocot seed means what? Which are present in where? In the plants like monocots, in the monocotyledon plants. Okay, and they are usually endosperm, I said. What is endospermous? If the endosperm is left out. Okay, and then that kind of seeds are known as endospermous seeds. And if the seeds are having no endosperm, then they are known as non-endospermic. And in monocots. Most of them are endospermous, but there are exceptions. What are they? Orchids. Okay. Then the seeds structure, if you see monocot seeds, okay, there are only one cotyledon. Okay, and you can see the fruit wall and the seed coat is they are fused. Okay, and the outer covering of the endosperm that separates the embryo by a layer, a proteinaceous layer that is known as alluren layer. Understood? And the embryo, where you can see towards one side. Okay, and only one cotyledon is there, that is known as the scutellum, and the embryo is situated towards one side. Okay, and the upper side, okay, or embryonal, that consists of what? Embryonal axis. Embryonal axis is having plumule and radicle. Okay, plumule will give rise to the shoot system, radicle is giving rise to the root system. Okay, and it is covered by what? A plumule is covered by a sheath called coleoptile, and radicle is covered by a structure called the coleorhiza. So this is the structure of what? The monocot seed. Understood? So this portion is very clear to you. Actually, we have to study the next part, that is semi-technical description of a typical flowering gland, that we will do in the next class. And for the you can see, observe the flowers, okay, of monocot, of different families, to understand the different worlds of the flower. Okay, you can, if you are coming to school, you can bring, or else you can just take out different flowers and you can see the different parts. Okay, and the seeds and all, it's not coming for exam, but you just read, this is very important. Okay, and the next topic I'll start in the next class. Thank you.